Hey, I'm Vieira. I hope you guys are doing great. This is the third video in a series where I'm talking about Rollei Retro 400S. That's the 400 speed black and white film. I think it's out of Belgium. Yeah, beautiful stuff, man. I do love the way this film looks. Um, First video I shot it at box speed, right? 400. I love the way it looked. Second video, I pushed it to 1600. I love the way it looked. What do you guys think? Um, but I hadn't done any people photography yet. I hadn't done any photo shoots or any kind of that intimate portraiture stuff. And I was curious to how this film, you know, would work in that kind of setting. It's got a lot of character, man. It's got its own unique, beautiful look. It does have a lot of character. It's got a lot of grain, right? It does have a lot of grain. Sometimes that can look cool in portraiture, right? Yeah, sometimes that even adds to the beauty. It can add to that character. It can really give it that old school film look, right? Well, it is a film. Weird, huh? Yeah. No, I did want to see how this film would work in that intimate portraiture kind of setting. So around the beginning of the year this year, I did have a photo shoot with Tonya. She was flying in from Alabama, just going to be here for a short time. And so we set up a shoot. So yeah, I took my M6, a couple rolls of Rollei Retro 400S. I was going to go down to her hotel room and just do a natural light photo shoot, right? Because you know how much I'm loving the whole natural light thing, the window light. Yeah. Have you guys ever shot at the Link Hotel down on the Strip? I gotta say, I was hoping for more window. There wasn't the window. It was like a floor to ceiling window, but it was probably only a couple feet wide. Yeah, it didn't provide a ton of light, so we kind of had to work with that. Um, I'll show you some of the shots we got. Give you some of my comments and kind of let you know what I think about Rollei Retro 400S for doing this kind of intimate portraiture work. Okay, here's some of the shots. Okay, for this shot, I've got Tonya positioned pretty much right in front of the window. That gives you a pretty good idea of how little light we're actually working with here. But to be honest, you know what, man? I really don't mind. You know how much I love the shadows. You know how much I love this mood. How I love this kind of look to the photograph. Yeah, beautiful stuff. We'll move over to the bed, and luckily this corner of the bed caught some of that natural window light. That gave us a space to work in, but you can see how dark the rest of the room was. Yeah, gorgeous gal. Gorgeous film. There is some grain there, but that's just the character. That's the nature of this film, right? I think it works here. As I'm moving a little bit closer, you can see how, yeah, working without a real strong light source here, this film can give you kind of a softer look. But again, I think that just works here. We move back to the back of the bed. You can kind of see how in the shadows now, yeah, some of the detail starts to fall off. But I think that still works for these kind of shots. Okay, what you guys think? Beautiful gal, beautiful film. Very little light. But it worked out. We made it work, and I love the shots that we got. Gorgeous stuff. Is this the kind of film that I would use as my go-to film for all of these kind of intimate portraiture kind of stuff? I don't know, man. I don't know. It does have a lot of mood. It does have a lot of character, and I love the way it looks in these shots. I love what we got with this film. But, I'm talking about this with the mindset that I had back in the beginning of the year when I had this photo shoot with Tonya. That was back when I was thinking that, yeah, man, acros is going away, right? Well, now that acros is coming back, I haven't shot any yet, but I have a feeling that's probably going to end up being that go-to film that I will probably use 80% of the time for these kind of photo shoots. If I do want that grain and that strong mood, yeah, I'll be happy to use Rollei Retro 400S. I wanted to show you guys this stuff and share, my experiences with you in case you want to use this film. If you're thinking about trying it, all of these shots were pushed to 1600. Now, if I was just shooting at 400, yeah, I don't think I would have got much, I would have had to shoot at such slow shutter speeds And I don't carry a tripod. I don't use a tripod. I like to be able to move during the photo shoots, that kind of thing. So yeah, being able to push this film to 1600 makes these kind of situations work. So if you're in a situation, you've got some Rollei Retro 400S, and you've got very little light, go ahead and push it to 1600, man. It's going to work great for you, and it gives you even that much more mood, right? It's beautiful stuff. Now, something happened in this photo shoot that has never happened before. Some people would call it a bad thing, but yeah, I messed up. I messed up. I was talking to Tonya. I'd finished the first roll, and on my, I don't have it here, on my M6, I just pressed the rewind lever. For some reason, I didn't feel it necessary to rewind the film. Yeah, we were just talking, and so I wasn't paying attention, right? That's on me. So yeah, man, I'd press the rewind lever. After a little while, I turned the camera over, unscrewed the base plate, took it off. I'm going like, that's weird. That looks like a bunch of film wrapped around the take-up spool. Well, that's what it was. It was a bunch of film, Rollei Retro 400S, tightly wrapped up around the take-up spool because I hadn't rewound the film. So here I am, I've got the base plate open. I'm looking at the film probably for about a second before it dawns on me what's going on, right? I quickly put the base plate back on, thinking like, yeah, that's really going to help. But I went ahead and rewound the film, played it cool, man, because I didn't want to, stress her out or anything like that. I always want to keep the mood up during the photo shoots. I did tell her all about it later and showed her some of the shots because, yeah, I did rewind the film. I took it out like I should have done the first time and put it in my bag. At the end of the shoot, I just left and I took it home. I went ahead and developed both rolls, right? And it was an accident, but it was one of those happy accidents because you know how sometimes when when film gets messed up, yeah, it gives you a lot more character. It gives that kind of messed up look to your shots, right? But sometimes it turns out cool. Yeah, it adds some just kind of cool stuff that you wouldn't have got if you had shot everything and didn't accidentally expose your film. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and share some of those shots here with you. Don't judge, okay? All right, here's some of the shots. Okay, wild stuff, right? Yeah, what'd you guys think? You know, man, I love these photos. I do. I love these shots, man. To see the way the light just kind of spills over each frame, it kind of brought the exposure up, huh? That's kind of cool. But yeah, I think we've all experienced this. Oh, I'm sure we've all experienced this where you've seen a photograph that has just a blatant lack of image quality, right? But often it's that lack of quality, of clarity. That's what makes the photo even stronger, more powerful. It does evoke more emotion, right? It gives the photograph that something extra that you're not going to be able to reproduce again. Kind of a magical quality. Kind of cool stuff. Like, take for example, the work you get working with a Holga. Yeah, man, if you're photographing with a Holga, it's that lack of image quality that you're looking for. That's what gives those Holga shots that beauty, that magic, that kind of mystical feel, right? Cool stuff, man. Now, would I do this again on purpose, just to get that effect? No, no, man. I'm not that cool, right? I'm always going to try to preserve any image quality that I can. But am I glad that it did happen on this instance? Yes, I am glad. I do love these shots. I love the ones that were actually shot right. And I love these shots too for different reasons. I do love that feel that these shots have. I explained what happened to Tonya and I showed her the photographs and she loves them, right? She loves that too. So she loved the shots. I love the shots. We had a great photo shoot together. Working with Tonya, great experience, man. You won't meet a sweeter, nicer, more charming, beautiful young woman. She was only in Vegas that week. She had flown in. I only met with her for that one day that we did the photo shoot. She was so nice. We had such a great time. So yeah, whenever she flies back to Vegas, we'll schedule more shoots. Good stuff, man. So Rollei Retro 400S, I do recommend it. If you're looking for something a little bit different, something, it's got that charm. It's got that, not always the sharpest image quality, but it gives you something else instead. It gives you a little bit more built-in mood, a little bit more feel just to the character of the film. So what do you think about that? You should try some, man. Shoot it at 400, man. Even at box speed, it's just a beautiful film. And it has that character. And you push it to 1600, it just kind of amps up that character a little bit more. And it's very doable. I'm going to go ahead and leave the development times down here in the description. I left it in the last video as well. But make sure you write those down, because if you are going to push to 1600, you're going to have a hard time finding development information. No data out there, man. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you shoot some Rollei. Let me know, man. Let me know what your experiences are. Have you already shot with this film? I would love to see some of them. Okay. Hey, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll answer anything I can. And I'm Ted Vieira, and I will see you in the next episode. Thanks.